Hello friends, Dr. Subhagata here, and as I mentioned in my earlier video that I will bring a series of videos on a very important topic, that is relationship. And relationship is also evolving every day like everything else in the society. As the society is evolving, our brain is evolving, we are evolving, so the relationship is also evolving. So that is all about today's video. So what is a relationship? A relationship is basically the connect between you and anything that is around you. It could be a living object, it could be a non-living object. I give an example. You have a group of friends and you are connected to some of them. Your friends could be a living object. Your friends may not be living object. Human friend is a living object, but you're also connected to your mobile phone or a certain trouser or a sari or a particular book is also an example of a valid relationship. The first thing that happens between two entities where you are one entity and anything around you is the other entity. Number one is information gathering. If it is a living object, then both gather information, they share information about themselves. If it is a non-living object, still that non-living object is also sharing its information with you. How? You meet a friend, a biological friend, and you ask how are you and how he or she is looking like, how he or she is talking, carrying himself or herself, what are the gestures when the talk is going on. So these are all information that both the persons, both the entities are gathering. When it is a non-living object, for example a mobile phone or a book, what we do, we read about that specifications of the phone, or we go by the chapters in that particular book, or a book review is useful to decide on whether I will read this book or not. Like mobile, whether I am going to buy it, use it or not. So information gathering is the number one. So after the information is gathered, then what happens? That we have a library of knowledge or library of information or a database in the brain, and that is called as hippocampus. Hippocampus stores all the information, but not all informations. I little refine here. The information that is relevant to you at that particular time stamp or phase of your life, we only store that information, and rest have been pushed aside. So hippocampus plays a very, very critical role here to store the information, and this process is called as accommodation. So accommodation is the second process within the mechanism of relationship building. So as I told, that one important factor or a catalyst that plays significant role in gathering information to accommodation and that is called as relevance. So relevance can be drawn as a coordinate of x by y, where x is the timestamp, the phase of life, and y is the requirement, that what is the requirement during that timestamp. So requirement versus timestamp. So that decides on the relevance. Okay, like a trend line. Okay, so if the relevance is high, we actually consume the information very fast, we gather it very fast, and we stack it very fast, and we also accommodate. Accommodation means here that I am not only stacking, but also I am stacking with certain timestamp. Okay, and which is happening in hippocampus. After the accommodation is made, then the next phase is called as analysis. So we analyze whatever we have accommodated based on the reference scale of relevance. If we find that yes, it is relevant, and I gathered it is relevant, so I accommodated, and it is also relevant, so that I need to little analyze, and that can happen while making friendship. At the same time, when you go to a shopping mall and you are about to buy a certain stuff, certain item, you always analyze. So analysis is the third process within the mechanism of the relationship building. So after the analysis is over, now we are there to decide, and the decision is coming from this part called as prefrontal cortex. That is the arithmetic logic unit. So all the logic centers are here, like principal logic, common sense logic. Those logic centers are here. If-then sort of logic. Okay. If-then logic with its extendable version. So this is also very important before you take a particular decision. Now, somebody has decided either to go ahead with that or not to go ahead, and few are between these two. That is the state of confusion. So the confusion state means somebody has to go back, one step back, and see that whatever it is accommodated, whether it is correctly accommodated or not. That means the stacking of information, whether that is correct or not. And then further up, if that is right, then further up, then the gathering of information, the nature of information, the content, the information within information, which is content of the information, and the relevance, with the reference scale of the relevance. That is very, very important, because the troubleshooting is maybe there, somewhere the error is there, the bug is there. Okay, so that's why analysis is taking time. Decision making is taking time. So that means there is a confusion. So there is a bug, and the bug has to be cleared. Then only the decision will be accurate, correct, even approximate decisions based on optimizations. Our brain also have the capacity to optimize, that whatever is decided, that is optimized based on that particular situation. So if the situation demands certain things where the decision may not be accurate, but still somebody has to act on that, optimization process starts working within the engine, like steepest descent method. Those who are from computer science, they can understand that steepest descent method, then simulated annealing, then binary coded GA, genetic algorithm. So these are all the optimizers. Okay, so those are there in the brain as well. And with certain steps, you reach or you converge to the optimum solution. Optimum solution, again I am saying, this may not be very, very accurate or precise, but for that particular situation, this is appropriate. Okay, So the decision then happens. Decisions can also be called as reflection. And there are two types of decisions that we make. One decision is coming as a knee-jerk reaction, that everybody is doing that, let me also do that. Like a domino effect sort of, or maybe shared psychosis. Everybody is buying villa, so I have to buy villa. Everybody is buying high-end car, I should also get high-end car, something like that. So it's a knee-jerk reaction, and this is called as reaction. So there is no brain involved. Okay, it's all within the spinal column. The another type of decision or decision making is called as responding. Responding means you are going one step ahead, you are analyzing and then coming back. So you are basically moving to and fro between analysis and decision to analysis few times, and then you take the decision. So it is little time consuming but robust. It is very robust and not hypersensitive at all. So responding means you have taken a firm decision. Responding is always meaningful and accepted way of decision making rather than reacting. So summarily, what I have told, I have mentioned about the processes within the mechanism of developing a meaningful and healthy relationship. And the grammar of that I am stating, I am discussing in this particular video. You are basically, number one, information gathering based on the relevance. Number two, based on the relevance, accommodating the information. Okay. Number three, that after we accommodate, we need to analyze the information, what I have gathered. And number four is decision making, that reflecting on what I have gathered and accommodated. So these are the 4 steps or 4 processes to build up any relationship, be it a living object or a non-living object. But this is the grammar of any relationship building. So please stay tuned to this particular channel and the playlist I mentioned as cognition. So please view, share these videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Take care.